Hello, Steve White, TrickBoy89 for Steve Arts 89. Well, this is disturbing and something I never really occurred to me, but now Trump is in control of the government. Basically, they have been going out of their way to systematically remove all diversity and representation from the government, from institutions, from funding, from education, everything. They're just trying to make America white again. And it's just really scary because things like the Kennedy Center are being totally ruined. And one of the next things on their sites is the Smithsonian Museum. And you all know what is housed at the Smithsonian Museum, the Enterprise model from the original Star Trek series. Now they want to apparently just, they want to remove everything that's diverse, everything that, symbolizes anything progressive or to do with representation or anything like that. And the Enterprise is a pretty big symbol for diversity, representation, freedom, the future, knowledge, all the things that Trump hates. And what I'm hearing is that they want it gone, just like everything else in the museum that isn't basically white history. And it terrifies me. They just spent all this money restoring it, and it's on display, and I've always wanted to see it. And the idea that it'll be taken down is just horrible, or maybe even destroyed. Although they'd probably sell it to a private collector to make money out of it, because they care a little bit more about money than their ideals. So it probably won't be destroyed, but it's probably going to be taken down along with a lot of other things, that go against their, revisionist version of America and how they want things to look. So it's really disturbing. It started with the government where they just started removing references to people of color or trans people or anyone in history, like even some of the squadrons of black fighter pilots and people like that who fought in the wars. All the references to them are being removed, and it's just all part of their overall plan. And like I said, they're systematically going through every department, everything, every institution, every museum, and working out what to get rid of to sort of push their agenda and represent their ideals and their conservative idea of how everything should be. And it's just terrifying because, like I said, I've never seen that model. I've always wanted to see it my whole life. I always assumed I'd be able to go to the Smithsonian. I thought it was safe. It was donated there for a reason, so it would always be safe, it would always be protected, it would never be sold off or anything like that. And things have changed. Nothing's safe anymore. And I'm kind of worried about it because, like I said, I want to see it one day. It may not exist, or it may not be available to see for the public like it has been for decades. So yeah, just another example of how Trump's destroying America. And hopefully it will never happen. Hopefully they won't get down to the micromanaging practical, thing of actually removing things from museums and things. It's easy to sort of change things on the government website and stuff like that and make policy, but actually going in and affecting things that are owned by private companies and organisations and that. But the problem is, basically what they say is, well, if you don't adhere to our laws and our ideas on politics and DEI and things like that we put into law, then you don't get any funding. They'll try and alienate them and force people to remove their funding. Otherwise, they'll have repercussions and stuff like that. So there are ways that they can affect things and do things, but who knows what's going to happen. But just the idea that it's the intention, that it's something they want to do, to remove all this sort of things from history and totally whitewash it, and the things that will be affected or lost is just terrifying. If you're a historian and care about things like that, it must be pretty devastating. I'm hoping the people at the Smithsonian, they're fairly crafty. I'm sure they'll find a way to preserve all this stuff so it can just be put out later when Trump's gone, assuming he doesn't get a third term. But in the meantime, things, people won't be able to see things. They won't be accessible. And there is a possibility that some things may be lost. And that's just horrifying. And even if it's not just the Enterprise to me personally, but just other things. It's just scary to think that these things are not safe. Because they're not. I thought they were. I always assumed they were. But that's it now. We don't live in the same world we used to. Things that used to be safe and reliable aren't. So we'll see what happens. I'm going to go. Feel free to share, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think of Trump taking down the Enterprise. It's just literally, like symbolically, it's just horrifying. I'm gonna go. Bye.